Welcome back to Computer Organization and Architecture series. In today's session, we'll explore the connection between the processor and the main memory and understand how the different components of CPU like ALU, control unit, register and processor memory interface work together in order to execute the instruction. The CPU, the central processing unit, which is consisting of three components: ALU, control unit and the registers. The ALU performs the arithmetic and the logical operations, the control unit which directs the flow of the instruction and the data, and the registers are very small and fast storage location inside the CPU. Registers are very crucial, and most important types of the registers are instruction registers, program counters and general purpose registers. The instruction registers holds the instruction that is being currently executed. The program counters contains the memory address of the next instruction which has to be fetched, and the general purpose register ranging from R0 to Rn-1, which is mainly holds the temporarily operands value and the results during the execution of the program. Now, the processor can't only work in the isolation. It must interact with respect to the main memory in order to fetch the instruction and perform the operation. So the interaction will happen through the processor and the memory interface circuits. As you can be seen with respect to this particular diagram, we have a processor memory interface. So this is a circuit that manages the transferring of data between the CPU and the main memory. In order to understand in more depth with respect to the interaction between the processor and the memory, we'll try to understand the program execution steps. So let us walk through the steps in order to execute a program. A program first must be loaded into a main memory from the secondary storage. The program counter is set to the address of the first instruction. This instruction is fetched from the memory and placed in the instruction register. The control unit decides the instruction that has to be sent the signal to an ALU or to any register. Suppose if the instruction performing the operations like load, store and add, the data has to be transferred from the main memory to any register. The ALU will perform the arithmetic and the logical operations on the register value. If the result has to be placed back to a register, that can be done. If the register has to be required to store with respect to a memory, then the data will be transferred from a register to a memory. So the processor and the main memory are constantly connected through the cycle of fetching the instruction, decoding them and executing the operations using an ALU and storing the result back. The tight connection ensures the smooth execution of the program and also makes the computer to perform the task as you have been commanded. So that's all for today's lecture on the connection between the processor and the memory. In the next session, we'll be continuing to explore more about the instruction execution and the CPU